So it's another spring focused video, obviously, and we know what my favourite part about spring, summer and all of that, and my favourite kind of fragrance profile. Flowers, florals, just that lovely, they're just heavenly, aren't they? It's the best thing in life. They look beautiful, they smell beautiful. If there was some big magic sky pixie, they'd have definitely invented flowers for us. Is it like a Demeter and Persephone, kind of the spring ones who plant the seeds of the flowers to come through and that? It is the best gift. They are just magic on earth, and if we had nothing else, we didn't have all this technology, well, we'd be happier anyway. But if all we had was just to go outside and walk and frolic in the flowers, I believe there'd be no war and we'd be a damn happy, fun species, wouldn't we? And I keep getting lost because I've not been down here for ages. So yeah, spring florals, let's get on. First up is number 22, the EDT from Chanel. I've gone for the EDT because it's, well, as the name suggests, it's got a little bit more vibrance, a little bit more kind of fresher pop. So yeah, it's predominantly, well, we all know this. I always say it's like the brighter, happier version of number 5. So it is a lot of Lily of the Valley, kind of soapier and brighter. But what gives this kind of its magic is a huge aldehydes overdose, and I mean, this is like aldehyde heaven. Just lots and lots and lots of them, and that mixing with the soapiness and the kind of beauty of the Lily of the Valley and the kind of fresh sparkle from the citrus, don't forget, creates this kind of airy, lovely, soft, breezy day. Like it's been warm and you can smell all the fresh, greener, whiter flowers everywhere. And then the the aldehydes just add that little bit of bubble and fizz and joy and happiness to it all. It just makes you smile, and it's definitely spring, this one. If you'd like something, with Lily of the Valley can be hard for people because it can be quite soapy. This is a delicate soapiness, and it's the aldehydes, like I say, are the main kind of fizz and joy from it all. There might be iris or something. It's a little soft powderiness in it, but it's fresh, it's bright, it's happy, it's clean. I suppose the major difference, I think there is still civet in this, between this and number 5, is this, the citruses freshen it more and add a bit more sweetness, whereas there isn't kind of a cheeky touch that I've noticed yet. I mean, don't forget, I've only had this a few months. There is a warmth there in the base, but it's not anything dirty. It's not like a particularly overly animalic or anything. So anyway, yeah, I'm waffling. That's number 22 from Chanel, the EDT. Next, now this is an interesting one to put in here. I've gone for Kilian's Imperial Tea rather than Love and Tears, which I mention a lot. Now, Imperial Tea is one of, well, again, this is the old version. I haven't smelled the new version and I don't want to because it will probably make me angry. But the original version of Imperial Tea is literally a complete, utter, photorealistic, olfacto-realistic, whatever, smell of jasmine tea. Every last thing about it, the kind of sweetness, the slight bitterness in there, the smooth kind of refreshing tea notes, the jasmine flowers, that kind of, it does taste very much of jasmine, good jasmine tea anyway, and Imperial Tea just masters this to perfection. It's a really simple fragrance as well. I don't know what is listed, but if it was just jasmine tea, I could well believe that. You even get that kind of, when you smell it, like the steam coming from a cuppa. It's beautiful. And like I say, the jasmine, that kind of greeny sweetness, and oh, it's such a lovely drink, isn't it? It's a way to make a bad day much better, isn't it? I find as well. The new version, don't know, so don't go buy it, don't go smell the new version and go, God, this is synthetic garbage. It's made by Estee Lauder, so you know what you're probably gonna get. But yeah, this one is just beautiful, and it is that kind of, there's something magic about jasmine, isn't there? It just gives you this kind of feeling inside, and obviously mixed with the tea. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful spring flowers one. That's Imperial Tea from Kilian, the old version. Next we have from Dior. That's Sakura. Of course this is going to be in here. Personally, cherry blossoms don't really smell in this country. If you really crunch them up, you get like a bitter kind of greeny, slightly pink smell, slightly, if that's any smell you get at all. But this is a kind of interpretation of one, but I tend to find this one with that kind of pink feel, the kind of airy feel, the kind of fresh patchouli kind of graininess and all of that, is you get a hint of violet, which kind of, to me, pushes more kind of like a lilac. It's like a beautiful sweet kind of feeling one, with that kind of airiness. Again, it's like a breezy spring day, you know, the cherry blossoms are falling, you get the beautiful kind of fresh air in your lungs, touch of earthiness, and I suppose that graininess, which I presume is the patchouli, gives you that kind of fresh breeze feel. It's lovely. It's every single kind of cherry blossom / sakura fragrance I've sniffed does its own thing, has something very different, but this one, yeah, magnificent. That's Sakura from Dior. We then have one from Aromatics, which is kind of natural perfumes that kind of create a, he's scared of grouse or whatever, that have a kind of natural smell that take you to a scene somewhere. And this one I think is supposed to be Berlin in the spring. It's Unter Linden, which is obviously all about the linden blossom and stuff. I think there's a bit of mimosa in this as well with it. It's kind of got this greenness, but it is ultimately like linden blossom, a kind of sharp, almost citric kind of beautiful sweetness with the powdery fluffiness of the mimosa, which again has that kind of yellow sunshiny smell. There's obviously a lot more going in it. There'll be some kind of woods to ground it, and there's a kind of greener feel, but it is ultimately just breathing in this beautiful, fresh, bright spring day. And blossoms do have a special kind of sweetness, don't they? Even if they're a little bit sometimes on the bitterness, it makes you happy, and then you can imagine the scene, the colours. I don't know what colour linden blossom is actually. Is it green or yellow? Well, obviously mimosa's yellow, not really a blossom, but you kind of imagine like petals, like greeny coloured petals on the floor. I'm covering myself here. I should have looked that up, shouldn't I? Anyway, but yeah, I just imagine loads of blossom petals everywhere, kind of soft breeze again, the sun shining, and it's just wonderful. Blossoms are flowers, and it gives you that kind of happy feeling. That's a theme running through all of this. They just make you happy, though, especially when this isn't a soliflor, but it is the main kind of beef of it is the linden blossoms. It's the blossoms, if you like, and that happy feeling you get from them, that fresh, the cold has ended kind of feeling you get inside. So that's Unter den Linden from Aromatics. Next is from Ormonde Jayne, and that's Osmanthus. This is a bit kind of, not everyone loves this. Now obviously it's about the Osmanthus. There is that kind of peachy floral feel through it all. There is a kind of almost leathery vibe, but what I'd say is that the greener side of it is the more kind of predominant thing to me. I think there's a lot of vetiver patchouli in this, or whatever think it's Schön again, isn't it? So whatever wonderful molecules he uses to recreate them kind of things, but it's this kind of peachy green, sometimes a little bit sharp, sometimes it does say a little bit more sweet than that, but you can just imagine again it's the trees in the kind of freshly green, beautiful landscape, rolling hills, that kind of thing. And Osmanthus, because I like peach, I suppose, it's a beautifully sweet, lovely floral. But to me, it will be more reminding me of pushing towards summer. It's because it's got more of a fruity kind of feel, hasn't it, than a traditional kind of florally aspect to it. But it's beautiful. It's very nice. So Osmanthus from Ormonde. Next is from Fragrance du Bois, and that's Petals de Cashmere. Again, there's no point going through the notes with this. What it is powdery, silky, smooth petals. It's obviously rose. I don't know if again Violet is lifted, but it's definitely got a more purpley smell. It's powdery and silky. You know, these kind of things I really love. I think there might be a fruit or something in it. And sometimes it often reminds me of like sitting in some lovely soft cotton in the sun, you know, like a soft cotton blanket on it. You get the cottony blossoms around you and stuff. And then there's like this fizzy, it's not Ribena. If there was a violet version of a Ribena, obviously with a little hint of rose, that's what it is. It does have this kind of fruity pop, soda or whatever you call it, kind of feel about it, but again with the absolutely heavenly muskiness in this one. It's quite beautiful and quite magnificent. And then it is, like it says, it feels like soft cashmere, not cashmere, and like a soft, smooth, fluffy cashmere made of petals, so you get the smooth, the coolness about it. It's very lovely, and again I don't know why it makes me think of pop, but it does slightly. So that's Petales de Cashmere from Fragrance du Bois. Then how can you not have there's a few of these, Spring Without Lilac, late spring. A dropped Issey I've gone for first, and that is obviously lilac. It's kind of that lovely sweetness about it. There is a bit of a kind of greener element as it kind of grows and develops. The ambroxan gives it a breezy feel to me. Again, a bit grainy and a bit kind of what have you. It's not too headachy actually, but it just pushes it out, which is needed, because there is a kind of soapy, soapy, lathery creaminess that pushes through it, so it becomes like a smooth lilac soap or shower gel, with all them elements about it. Just kind of sits there nicely. It is more, it makes me think of summer, but or late spring, but it's probably one you'd wear on a cooler day, because lilac is quite prominent, quite big, isn't it, and does warm you up with that lovely sweetness. I don't need to waffle on too much, we all know what this one is. I dropped Issey from Issey Miyake. Next is Lipstick Rose from Frederic Malle. Of course this is very florally, again later spring, but this is obviously the Violet Rose Iris. It's you kind of traditionally one, kind of lipsticky like the name suggests, makeup-y. It's got the kind of smoothness, the smooth waxiness and stuff will be from the iris, and then the lipstick kind of sweetness is from more the violet and the rose, which probably all the powderiness around it. But the reason this kind of suits this season more is there is a grapefruit going through this. Now it's there in the opening, but sometimes I don't notice it, and sometimes it's very much there. It's like this thin, sharp vein going through it. Which again, like I say, sometimes I enjoy, sometimes it can really irritate me. But as it goes through, it obviously freshens it up and sharpens it up. So it's not like a big powder bomb. It's not like a big smooth or waxy powder. It's got a freshness from the grapefruit, and I think that's what makes this one kind of stand out a bit more interesting. But yeah, that's Lipstick Rose from Frederic Malle. Next we're back to Lilac. It kind of had to be in here. Now it's one you have to go careful with in the spring and stuff. But Lilac Love from Amouage, like I say. It's got that beautiful, sweet, syrupy lilac going through it. Bluey purple with a bit of the kind of syrupiness early on, a bit of greenness. There's quite a lot going on in this fragrance, but it's kind of mainly what it's about. Then it has this kind of rich, ice creamy, white chocolatiness going through it in bits. It's not like Love Tuberose, it's not as rich as that, but that fades and it becomes like this powdery white chocolate feel. There's obviously a lot of patchouli, musks and that in it, and there is this and that element on it, but I'm trying to keep these brief and focus on the main bits. It is like this warm, very warm, hot day. Lots of rich petally things about there, and also the sweetness of the lilac, sometimes fresh, sometimes sweet and syrupy kind of going through it, and it really makes you kind of feel and just warm and lovely. And it's a very cozy one. This is why it works in the winter so well. It's very like you want to snuggle into someone from the muskiness and all of that, but in the spring, oh, it makes you think of lilacs and just that push towards the warmer weather and that lovely freshness in the air. You got the warm sun on your skin, you're feeling warm, and then that heady richness from the lilacs. So that's Lilac Love from Amouage. And of course finally is Violet in Love from Nicolai Fragrances. This is always my spring violet, and this is one I very much look forward to. It's got this kind of springy, by spring I mean watery kind of stream feeling about it. I don't know what it is, but it's got this fresh, greeny, like spring with the stream, with the flowers growing either side of it and the grasses. But obviously it's the violet. And the violet in this one is very fresh. I suppose the citruses, there's a nice muskiness in there, but it's kind of a really fresh, airy violet with that kind of watery, still kind of feel about it. I'd say it's less powdery than others, less sweet. Like I said, there's just greener elements in this, but also it's just lovely. And that freshness makes it much easier to wear than a lot of them. There's a rose powderiness in there, there's probably iris in that. It's a traditional kind of one, but like I say, different in the fact it's lighter and airier and sunnier and happier. Whereas generally speaking, violet is kind of a darker, more sensual now, isn't it? This one's happy and playful. Just a very beautiful, easygoing, fresh citrus one. So that's Violette or Violet in Love from Nicolai Fragrances. So yeah, that's kind of the end of that. What I want to say is I think this is very different to my usual spring fragrance videos, which have kind of more of the same. I always use the same fragrances, don't I? I think I've mixed it up a lot more this time. Probably not, who knows? I haven't watched my old ones back. Well, that is definitely missing. A bit of the old Narcissus. Look at them, they are gorgeous. Look how vivid they are as well. Lovely. I should have put Daffodil one in Narcissus, shouldn't I? But never mind. But that's where it would make it say, what am I waffling on about? That's my spring florals list. Have you got any favourite kind of spring flowers? I know not all of them grow exclusively in spring and that. Do you get like me? Do you just... Well, maybe people love flowers as much as me and that, but when it gets to spring you get that excitement. They're just everywhere, aren't they? And it just makes me happy. Anyway, that's enough of me waffling on. Thanks folks. Bye.